Hey there, boys and girls. Yes, I'm using old gameplay footage, but you know what? I don't really care. I will revamp my gameplay footage as soon as possible, but I just haven't had the time. But we are going to be talking about Tom McDonald. He apparently had an interview with Pierce Morgan. We'll cover a little bit of that interview, and then in the same video, he did a interview. Pierce Morgan did an interview with an artist by the name of Talib. Now, I listen to CHH, Christian hip hop. So that's my wheelhouse. So I don't know much about the mainstream hip hop industry at all. At all. Obviously, I know the pop rap artists, the Eminems, the Nicki Minaj's, the Meg The Stallions, and people like that. But and you know, more obscure artists like Tribe Called Quest and Wu Tang Clan. I know they're technically not obscure, but in today's day and age, not very many people know of them. They mostly know the Gucci gangs and stuff like that. But we are going to be listening to this. And this is probably going to go on both my Mississippi Blobfish page and my Radio Blobfish page. But I just want to cover this thing. It may be that I cover the Tom McDonald portion and some of the Talib portion in the first video on my main channel, and then on my secondary channel, which will be in the link down below, I will post the rest of it. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll just post the entire thing. Either way, it'll be in two parts probably. But we're going to cover this. Let's take a look at this, get into it. First, it's going to be Pierce Morgan and Tom McDonald. Let's do this. Roll that clip.
Well, this begs the question, has hip-hop gone woke? I spoke to Ben about his unlikely transformation into a rap heavyweight yesterday. And today I'm joined by the artist who actually crafted the song, Tom McDonald. So, Tom, well, first of all, congratulations on this runaway smash hit. You're actually entitled to celebrate it because you are a bona fide rapper. Ben, I'm not quite so convinced by. Maybe a one-hit wonder. First of all, are you surprised by the backlash, or did you predict the backlash and that was one of the reasons you did the song in the first place?
Well, I've made a lot of sort of anti-woke anthems over the years, and there's always a certain degree of backlash that comes with it. So this one was sort of, a lot of my relationship with the audience is call and response. I make a song, people respond in the way that they do, and then I respond again with the next song. So, Facts with Ben is sort of the cap on a long line of anti-woke anthems that have been met with pretty heavy criticism.
You know, he's 1000% correct. No matter how you feel about Tom McDonald, whether you like him, whether you hate him, it doesn't really matter. He is always met with scrutiny. But can we at least agree, regardless of your politics, put that aside, it is kind of nice to hear something countercultural. It's just weird, like me coming from an independent perspective, it's just weird that the countercultural happens to be conservatism. It just happens to be conservatism. Like, I never have believed in a party switch at all between Democrats and Republicans, but not in the way that the far left wants to make it seem. But like right now, it feels like there's kind of a party switch, if you ask me. But yes, he's always met with criticism, and it's kind of refreshing to see somebody actually stand for their beliefs and not go with what the mainstream wants you to. That's just great.
People in the black rap community have come out and said, look, this is just blatant cultural appropriation.
Of course they have. But if it's Eminem rapping about things and doing things and all this other nonsense, it's fine. Macklemore, totally cool. But Tom McDonald, because he calls out the mainstream rap industry, cultural appropriation. Mwah. You just gotta love the hypocrisy, don't you?
Racism, because you're accusing all their music that they produce of being about selling drugs, pushing guns, stripper poles, turning our sons into thugs, and so on. What do you say to that criticism?
I think that there's all types of rappers out there. There's black rappers and white rappers and Asian rappers and Indian rappers, all types of rappers. And I don't think that criticizing sort of the status quo of the genre or criticizing the prevalent content of the music, I don't agree that there's anything racist about that.
Exactly. He's attacking a concept, the messaging of the music. Lecrae has also attacked the messaging of mainstream rap music. There is a song that he wrote called Nothing many years ago. It's weird that it feels like that's been so many years ago. But here is the chorus to the track Nothing by Lecrae.
What you talking about? Baby talking about the same old thing. I'ma have to call a foul in the game. What you talking about? A little money, now you all OG. Talking about it's all eyes on me. They ain't talking about nothing. Let me guess you count money to the ceiling. Difference between us like at least a couple million. It's foreign cars, pretty girls everywhere you go. Yeah, I heard it 30 times on the radio.
That was a little bit of the chorus and the first verse of Nothing by Lecrae. He was saying this stuff 9 years ago. And Lecrae ain't some white dude. Lecrae is far from being some white dude. And he's not some uber conservative. He's not liberal either. He does what he believes Jesus wants him to. But Lecrae is not some white dude. So Lecrae was talking about this stuff and calling this stuff out 9 years ago. Where was the backlash then? Because that song made it onto Jimmy Fallon. He was, Fallon's backup band for a few episodes of Jimmy Fallon, all this other stuff. Where was the backlash then? But now when Tom McDonald, who's a out conservative, says anything about it, boom, it's racist. Boom, it's not okay. Boom, it's inappropriate. How dare you call us out on our bullcrap? Seriously.
What struck me is that there seems to have been more outrage over you guys lampooning this style of rap music than there is about the actual rap music, which often to me gets an extraordinary pass from criticism. And I said to Ben yesterday, when you have John Legend rewriting Baby It's Cold Outside because it's so offensive, but doesn't rewrite any of the lyrics of any of his rap friends, there's an obvious double standard.
I know Tom is going to go into this, but I just wanted to say, yeah, there's a real double standard in regards to that. And it's weird and it's gross and it's disgusting because you're hypocritical and you're showcasing your hypocrisy for all the world to see. But are we really shocked by this level of hypocrisy? I personally don't think so. I don't think most people are shocked by this level of hypocrisy at all. And when we call out this hypocrisy, it pisses off any of the mainstream artists. And that goes for the conscious artists or anything like that. Anybody who follows the same exact narrative. And I'm not talking about, solely political narrative, just anybody who thinks that, going outside of the norm, coloring outside of the box is seen as bad. You see, the conscious rappers think that they're different than the mainstream rappers when in reality they're all pushing the same type of political agenda. It's just a fact. And I'm not saying all conscious rappers put out this stuff, and I'm not saying all people in mainstream rap put out this stuff, but the ones that get offended by songs like Facts, those are the ones who definitely push the same type of an agenda like Nicki Minaj and like Meg The Stallion. I would have said Cardi B, but she's kind of changed her mind on a lot of things. But it's just factual. That is factual.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that sort of in general, over the last 10 to 15 years, there's been very prevalent themes in hip hop, sort of objectifying women and glorifying violence and romanticizing drug abuse and stuff like that. And I think that hip hop likes to think of itself as quite a woke genre, and none of those things seem to quite align with what the woke mob is standing up and being vocal against. So I think it's a little bit hypocritical, but
Exactly. But any type of music nowadays is hypocritical. They thrive off hypocrisy. As long as they're getting that dollar bill, they do not give a crap if they are selling out your sons and getting them to be gangbangers or turning your daughters into sluts. They just don't care. I mean, heck, even Ice Cube came out and flat out said the rap industry was promoting all of this stuff. The same people who run the rap industry, the rap records, also owned the prisons back in the 90s.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. The records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Some records are made by committee, meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. You have, the record company pushing the narrative. Some social engineering going on here to make sure those prisons stay full.
So, mainstream rap is literally pushing people in the direction of jail. It just is. Why do you not think that artists like Lecrae hardly get any mention whatsoever? And the only reason Lecrae was on, the front of People magazine and stuff like that is because his album sold so well that they kind of were forced to do it. But nowadays, you'll never see somebody like a Lecrae or a KB or a Tadashi or a Triple E. You'll never see them pushed on mainstream. Their Christianity aside, you just won't see it. It's just not something that'll happen. They speak too much truth. Or even an independent artist like Peabody will never see the light of day on any radio station that's not Christian. Even though Peabody does a lot more than just Christian music. It's because they're too on point with their honesty in regards to what they talk about. If you ever want to see a good hip-hop artist, and this is... I've seen non-religious people comment the same thing on these videos. Look up Triple E. Look up Lecrae. Look up Tadashi. Look up anybody on Rapzilla.com. Because yes, they may be Christian artists, but they are the ones speaking the most truth right now. They just are. But let's get into Tom McDonald talking about him being censored on Billboard. And then that's where we're going to end this video.
Do you think you can be #1 on the Billboard chart, or do you think you may get subtly shadow banned to stop you getting there?
Well, it's happened before. I've had Billboard refuse to count my album sales. I'm completely independent. There's no record label. There's no distribution. There's no marketing team, nothing. I make all of my beats. I write all the songs. My girlfriend shoots the music videos, entirely independent of the music industry. So, censorship, suppression, shadow banning is very familiar with all of those things. Like I said, Billboard's refused to count my album sales before. They've removed me off trending charts on YouTube. My distribution company, TuneCore, which is supposed to be the alternative for artists who don't want to sign a major record deal. They are supposed to be able to go to TuneCore and independently release their own music. So I had TuneCore deny release of this song and say that they will not host it in any form because of quote unquote lyrical content. So, I think I think the buzz is there, and I think the press is there, and I think that the proof is in the pudding. I have access to the sales numbers, as do many other people. So I think it would be pretty hard for Billboard at this point in time to just blatantly snub us on the Billboard charts.
The music industry will censor anybody who speaks an ounce of truth. They just will. You've got Ice Cube, who is calling out the music industry in his own way. He's not liberal, he's not Republican, he's not Democrat, he's not conservative. He's his own thing. He's anybody who will listen to him. And then you have Tom McDonald, who's saying his own thing. So my question, I doubt Ice Cube will ever see a #1 hit again, seeing as he's called out the music industry too many times. Tom's sales numbers are so big that, like he said, it would be impossible for Billboard to get away with snubbing him out of this #1 hit. It would just be impossible. And the fact that he's doing everything independently of everyone else showcases why individuals like Nicki Minaj don't even want to call him by name, because you know they know who Tom McDonald is. You know they do. The music industry is not as big as you think it is. You know they know who he is, especially since he's been number one multiple times before. But the simple fact of the matter of Tom being censored time and time again, Billboard can't get away with it this time. They just can't. Take the politics out of it, because you have two people on different journeys in their political walk calling out the same nonsense. They're not going to be able to get away with it between Tom and Ice Cube. So, yeah. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Have a blessed day and take care of yourselves. And regardless of your political affiliation, be good to yourself and one another. Take care, guys. This is Gabe Radio Blobfish and Mississippi Blobfish signing off saying take care and God bless. Peace out, everybody.
Can you make one promise, finally, Tom, which is if you do get there, you don't make as part of your celebration a decision to do a whole album with Ben Shapiro? I don't think any of us could stomach that.
I can absolutely make that promise. I can absolutely make that promise.
The link to part 2 will be in the description below, if I can remember. Take care.